Deco fans might get their jollies riding the elevator at the Empire State Building or roaming around Rockefeller Center, but any true student of the genre should take a look at the regal Art Deco buildings along the Grand Concourse in the Bronx. A big chunk of the Concourse, from 153rd to 167th Street, is now being proposed as a landmarked historic district, and with good reason. The boulevard was completed in 1909 and designed to resemble the Champs-Élysées in Paris. By the 1920s, it was one of New York's most affluent addresses.
Ethnicities from block to block were not that defined. Everything south of Fordham Road and west of Park Avenue is primarily Jewish. East of Park Avenue to the south was very much Irish and Italian, and those people settled over there during the 1880s in response to the development of the New York Central Railroad. This area settled a little later. Further north was, again, mostly Italian and Irish communities. And these lines were not necessarily directed by anyone. It just evolved that way.
Architects like Emery Roth, who designed the San Remo and the El Dorado, took a stab at the Concourse. Roth designed this building, 888 Grand Concourse on 161st Street, and if you look inside, you can still see all the Art Deco touches. 888 is right across the street from the Bronx Civil Court, itself an Art Deco jewel built in the 1930s by Max Hausel and Joseph Friedlander.
They filmed the last Bourne movie with Joan Allen using the rotunda of the building as a substitute for the Senate.
On the other side of 161st Street is the old Concourse Plaza Hotel, which opened in 1923, the same year as Yankee Stadium, and it was where the Yankees would stay when they were in town.
In 1923, when this building opened, many people did indeed regard this area as one of the best examples of urban development in the country.
Andrew Friedman, the owner of the Giants when they were a New York baseball team, erected this limestone mansion, which would allow people to live in it for free, provided that they had once been a millionaire and had lost all their money. But it is still in the Art Deco apartment buildings that the neighborhood truly excels. Even in buildings that were worn down over time, one can see touches like elevators, mailboxes, floors, and murals from the Grand Concourse's heyday. Of course, the Concourse suffered from the Depression like everybody else.
So what landlords did do was to entice people to move up here in the 30s was to offer a prospective tenant 1 month's free rent. Well, what a lot of people did was they would move into a building and live there a month for free, and then move across the street next month and live there for free, and hopscotch from one building to another.
But while the Depression might have knocked the wind out of the neighborhood, its real erosion didn't start until the 1960s. This was the last building in this part of the Grand Concourse to go up.
When I bought my apartment in 1987, units in this building were selling for about one bedroom for probably in the vicinity of $60,000, $70,000. Now their same apartment here today would be about $200,000, $175,000, depending on the unit.
However, while a lot of these buildings fell into disrepair, there's no reason to think that they can't come back.
Primarily because the area went through the tumult that it did. Almost everything on the Grand Concourse was built originally when it was a prosperous community. All of that is still here. And all of that, in one way or another, can be amplified and resurrected.
For NYPost.com, I'm Max Gross.